Sometimes my flavor preferences change. I tend to hit the pork and beef pretty heavy, but man, sometimes I just need something different. How about chicken? Sometimes the only thing that really hits that spot is chicken. My favorite way to eat chicken is smoked. I get a whole chicken and rub it up, toss it on the smoker, get it cooked up. It gets a kiss of smoke, and if you get it just right, that skin crisps up, and yeah, it's pretty much the perfect bite. Chicken can be finicky. Chicken breast, if not cooked right, can be dry and stringy. Dark meat is a bit more forgiving. A whole chicken obviously has all of this, so we gotta get it just right. Fortunately, this method is a fantastic process to get perfectly cooked breast and dark meat, as well as crispy skin. Whole chickens are cheap, and you get a lot of good meat out of these. And like other cuts in barbecue, it's good by itself, but you can also pull it and freeze for later to mix in with other dishes. We've got two phases to this cook. Phase 1 is a low temp to build smoke flavor, and phase 2 is at a higher temp so we can crisp the skin and finish off the cook. That smoker's not gonna fire itself up, so let's go get it. Our grates are a bit dirty from previous cooks, so I want to clean this up real quick. I just hit it with some crumpled up aluminum foil and that does just fine. Our goal temp to start off with is 200 to 225 Fahrenheit. Like most barbecue items, I hit it with a simple homemade rub. We're gonna do an SPG rub today. 2 parts coarse black pepper, 1 part diamond crystal kosher salt, and 1/2 part granulated garlic. This video is brought to you by our sponsor, Woodchuck Firewood. Woodchuck has all kinds of different wood. They're based out of Valley Center, Kansas, but they ship their wood all over the country. If you're on the lookout for wood splits that you need for your barbecue, fire pit, or fireplace, Woodchuck Firewood is your one-stop shop. Type in the link below into your browser to access their website and contact them if you want to place an order, and they'll take good care of you. Our fire is burning pretty good and established now, so we can close up the smoker. Whole chickens are super easy and require very little trim work, but I'm gonna go ahead and trim up around the top opening and the bottom opening just in order to clean those up and help us get rub on the inside. We also don't want any of the flappy pieces to burn. We're gonna start with this little piece right here. This is called the parson's nose. This is where the spine starts to turn into the tail, and we're just gonna trim that right off. We can save this for stock later on. All of this excess skin that we see right here, we're gonna take this off because otherwise it's just gonna burn. We're gonna do the same thing on the top side. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We're gonna wanna hit this with our rub inside and out so that we can enhance the flavor of the chicken from all sides. And again, this is an SPG rub. It's 2 parts 16 mesh black pepper, 1 part salt, and 1/2 part granulated garlic. We're at 200 to 225, so it's time to put the chickens on breasts up. I've got 6 of them for future meal preps and recipes. We're starting at a lower temp with the goal of bringing the temperature up slowly and adding as much smoke flavor as we can. I'll toss a bit more rub on the tops. We'll check back in at the 45-minute mark. Hey guys, more information on this. When barbecuing, generally speaking, the lower the temp you cook at, the more smoke flavor you apply to the meat. When you bring the temp of the meat up slowly at lower temps, you have more time and more of a chance to apply smoke flavor. When you cook at a higher temp, you're not able to apply as much smoke flavor. At a certain internal temp, the meat actually stops taking on smoke flavor. That internal temp is somewhere probably between 120 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Given that chicken is such a short cook, we have to make every opportunity to apply smoke flavor. So that's why we're starting low temp for phase 1 of this cook. It's been a few cooks since I've applied cooking oil to my smoker, and it's starting to show some signs of rust on the back and underside of the firebox. We'll hit this with some PAM spray, and the heat hits that oil and creates a waterproof barrier on the outside to ward off rust. This process is called polymerization. Alright guys, it's been 45 minutes, so we'll take a look. We want to notice good color development as an indicator of smoke flavor development. We need to go a bit longer on this, so we'll close it down and check again in 45 more minutes. An hour and a half in now, look how this color is developing. That's delicious smoke flavor right there. We're going to add on even more, so we'll check back in 30 minutes, which will put us right at the 2-hour mark. Moving on, it's been 2 hours at 200 to 225 Fahrenheit. Look at that deep golden brownish red color. The breasts are hanging out around 140 internal. Now we enter into phase 2 of this cook, where we bump the temp up to 325 so we can crisp up the skin and finish off the cook. We want to get those breasts to 165, so let's start adding additional splits to the firebox so they can ignite and build that temp. We should be done within 10 to 15 minutes. This bottom right chicken is done with the breast at 166. Look at that juice coming off this chicken. I'm a dark meat kind of guy, so I'm gonna slice off a leg and dig in. My wife will go for the breast, and anything that's left over, we're gonna vac seal, and we're gonna freeze for later dishes. The future meals are endless, guys. You know, that's really good. I got a lot of that salt, that pepper, that garlic. Smoke is just brilliant. This is the perfect chicken leg. You gotta serve it to your family. You gotta serve it to your friends. You have no reason not to. Alright guys, I'm not a chicken breast kind of guy, but I know some of you are. So I want to show you the right way to serve the breast. The breast sits on the rib cage of the chicken, and the grain runs this way. So we want to slice against the grain so we end up with the best texture on the meat. I've got 2 different knives that I'm working with. I have our boning knife, and I have our slicing knife. We're going to use both of these to properly serve the breast. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the breast off of the rib cage by slicing the 2 breasts in 2 along the sternum. So we're going to go straight down like that. We encounter the sternum, and we're going to do that. We simply curve our knife around so that we can take that breast straight off of the rib cage. And we want to follow the rib cage all the way down. This boning knife bends a little bit. It has pliability, so it allows us to take the breast completely off of there. And then eventually, you can slice all the way through and you get that entire breast off with the skin on top. So the grain of the chicken breast runs this way. So we want to carve it perpendicular to the grain so that we get the best texture and the best juiciness. So this is where the slicing knife comes in. And we're gonna go in perpendicular to the grain, and we wanna leave the skin on the top. So be really gentle as you slice into this so that you don't tear the skin off of the top. That slice of breast is juicy, and that skin is crackling and crisp. I still prefer dark meat, but I could get behind that. I'm excited to eat on this over the next few months with all kinds of different dishes. Do it this way, can't go wrong. And that's how we smoke chicken at fire and ferment. If you like this type of content and you want to see more of it, hit that big like button and subscribe to the channel. And also click on that little bell icon so you don't miss any new content. I love you guys, and stick around.